Good morning and happy Saturday. Welcome into My Sweet Home Living. My name is Tracy Campbell, and you are back for another Saturday morning of live crafting and chatting with you, catching up over the week and bringing you a fun and easy primitive style project that you can create on your own very easily and very inexpensive. So we're easy on the budget this morning. We have a couple of things that we'll be using, but it's all really simple and really easy to get your hands on. So come on in, tell me good morning. I'm so happy to see you on this beautiful Saturday morning. Good morning, Miss Teresa from Forest Acre Primitives. Good to see you. Hey, Miss Debbie. Hey, Miss Cheryl. I am a little more put together this morning, you guys. If you caught me yesterday morning, we were a little frazzled with all the things yesterday. And so let me show you what we made yesterday. No, you can't see it. My chair is blocking it. We created something really easy. Yesterday was a Fun Friday theme over in the Craft on the Clock group. And so everything was all things black. That was the theme. And so black, the color black, was taking center stage, if you will. And I do want to make sure that this is getting shared out to our groups. Facebook does not give me the option to share us out into our groups anymore. So give me just a moment. But look at this. Created this cute little cupboard tuck. And it's kind of like, think of a cupboard tuck as like a bowl filler or something like that, but it's primitive in style. And it's something small that you can tuck in, like a primitive style cabinet, a shelf, or even a little vignette if you want to. Or, you know, if you do tiered trays, they could even be tucked into tiered trays. But this was so simple. We used a piece of scrap wood and a printable. Free printable. I just pulled off a silhouette and printed it off on my home printer on a regular piece of copy paper. So if you want this printable, if you comment !Telegram in the comments if you're watching on Facebook. Now this will not work on if you're watching the replay on YouTube later, so I apologize for that. But you can get this printable on my Telegram channel. You can just download it and print it right from your device. So super easy, and I love it how simple it was to put together. Good morning, Miss Stephanie. Good morning. Good morning. I hope that you all are having an amazing Saturday so far, or if you're just starting off your morning, I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Good morning, Miss Joy. George never looks better. It never looked better with a little bit of coffee grunge, right? Every president needs a little coffee grunge in their life. I would love to create like a little matching set of these, maybe like Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson. I don't know. They're just so perfect with the patriotic theme. And one more group that we need to share this into. You guys, if you're not part of my all things primitive and you love primitive style decor, I would invite you to join us. Just search the Facebook search bar at the top, all things primitive, and you will find our group. Usually I have this set up so that it just like spreads it far and wide for me, and I don't have to manually do this. Well, since the latest Facebook update, I'm sure many of you have noticed crazy things happening as well. So it's one of those things that the option has just disappeared for me. So I've got to manually do it. And I don't like doing that. It takes time away from me talking to you all. Dee Dee, you got it. She commented !Telegram in the comments. And it will put up a little comment there for you and that you can click on. That you can find my Telegram channel. And I can also do something like, let's see, like that right there. There we go. And maybe it'll pop up for you as well, and you can just cross out of it. All right, now let's get rid of that. We don't need the computer now. Let's get to crafting. I can't wait to show you what we're doing today. Of course, it's going to be primitive, right? And we are using some wood products today. Now, remember I told you that there were going to be things that will be easy to get your hands on. We're going to use a little bit of wood. We're going to use a little bit of cardboard. And the rest is just craft paint with a little bit of hot glue. Oh, we are going to use some magnets. But everything's going to be really easy. So let me show you these right here. This is what I'm going to use. And I meant to cut these down, but It's okay. We're going to have a super tall Saltbox house. These are from Hobby Lobby, the wood pile section. You know, the Hobby Lobby has like a section of unfinished wood products that you can use for crafting. And this comes from that section. This is a 2-piece set. These are 2.5 inches wide, and they're 12 inches tall, and they're like 1/4 of an inch thick. So they come in a pack of 2 right there. And it says regular price is $3.49. So if you catch them on a week that they're on sale, they're even cheaper than that. So they're really good size for crafting. Now I will say that Dollar Tree also has something that is similar, but it's not quite as wide. You can see the difference there. I'm wanting to go a little bit thicker here. I will also tell you that Hobby Lobby has a little bit chunkier piece of wood, and this is comparison here, but this comes in like a pack of like 8 pieces or 6 or 8 pieces. Here's my thought process. We're using this for a fridge decor, a fridge magnet today, and so I need something thinner rather than thick. So if you see this idea play out today and you want to use the same concept but maybe not use it on a refrigerator magnet, or you know, where thickness doesn't matter, or maybe the chunkiness works in your favor if you're wanting to use this like a shelf sitter or something like that, then this might be the better option for you. But we're going thin today. We're going thin, and we are going to create probably a set of 3 of these today. While I'm creating, I'm just going to go ahead and just create all 3 of them. Why not, right? Why not? We have unlimited time this morning, so we are going to catch up. We're going to chat. We're going to relax. You all grab your coffee. If you're nibbling on some breakfast, we are going to chat. Good morning, Miss Roxanne. Linda, how are you? Sunny in Oklahoma today. Good deal. Good morning, Fatima. Miss Ann, thank you all for hopping on. It is, I will tell you, in the backyard it's kind of gloomy, but I do think it's a little, I mean, the skies are clear, so maybe I'm just not seeing a lot of the sun yet. But I think it's supposed to be partly cloudy today for the most part. Now, I'm doing a set of 3 of these, so I've got to come up with a color scheme. I'm going to let you guys help me out with that. You've already have your coffee, Miss Deborah. Awesome. So here's some of the colors that I pulled out. In my kitchen, here are the color schemes that I have. I have black and creams and gray and navy. I know that sounds like a strange color combination, but it all works. It all works. So if you have a color theme, you might want to keep that in mind. Or if you want to create these as gifts, keep in mind of the recipient that you're giving it to. I will tell you that these will also make awesome resellables. If you do craft fairs, craft shows, these are quick and easy things that you can whip together. They don't cost a lot individually, and I would think that they would sell like hotcakes, especially if you have them priced right. I think they would be super cute. So keep in mind like some neutral colors, if you will, of what you might want to use, or maybe some of the most popular primitive style colors. Which here are the colors that I have pulled out. I have a navy, of course, a navy. Good morning. Oh, great start to your day, Miss Barb. Thank you for hopping on here. Hey, Miss Deanie, coffee and chocolate chip muffin. That sounds good. That sounds good, Deanie. Okay, I've got a navy, and I have like a golden. This is golden. No, this is yellow ochre. This is Folk Art brand. And this one is a deep midnight blue from Decor Art, Americana line. And then I have also pulled out a red, just a crimson red. I have also pulled out, and I don't know if I want to do this or not, because I don't have a whole lot of green in my kitchen, but this moss color. Some of you are familiar with this Waverly chalk paint. This color is moss. Just a real good earthy green. I love that soft green. Thank you, Miss Beth. Thank you. Listen, I don't shop a lot for myself. In fact, if I find something I like, sometimes if it comes in multiple colors, I'll buy 2 or 3 of the same shirt in different colors. I'm very simple like that. But thank you. I appreciate that. Your breakfast is always the same. A Dr. Pepper. Oh my goodness, Miss JoJo. Oh my goodness. I loved your bougie rooster yesterday. That was so fun. If you all like roosters, you like a little bit of sparkle. She recreated a big rooster print and added some glam to it. And it was so cool. Her page is called the Hot Mess Express. Hey, Miss Palon, you like the midnight blue and the yellow? I think so too. I'm torn between the third color. Should I do sort of a play on red, white, and blue, but it would be red, and then a mustardy golden and a red. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Or we could swap out the red and do a green. Look at those colors together. I kind of like those colors together. And of course, I will kind of deepen the colors. Something about that just speaks to my heart right now, though. Let's see. Let me see what you got. Miss Pat from Unique on here. Good morning, sweet friend. Good morning from Europe. Krista, what time is it in Europe? You're probably already midday, right? Good morning, Diane. Okay, I think I'm going to go with the red. I do have this hazelnut color, but I feel like that's too close to the gold. We could do that. This is even cool. You like the red, blue, yellow, and green. I don't know. I know this is sort of like a play on a historical color. I think a historical color scheme. I really like that. I'm going to probably darken it a little bit more. You all know how I kind of darken my colors. Which, let me grab some paper cups because we're going to need to mix some colors, and I forgot to grab some paper plates to do that. So I do have some paper cups handy. Good morning. Am I frozen? Oh, freeing. Where did I go? Where did I go? Oh my goodness, you're funny, JoJo. Listen, my brain does that automatically. I don't even have to type to make the typos. My brain just does that. I will combine words and spit them out all the time. Make my own language. Good morning, Crystal. Hazelnut is your new favorite brown. Linda. I did pull it out because it was speaking to me. And I really do like that color, but I think I want just a little more pop of a color today. I think. Good morning. Blue, yellow, and green. Y'all are chiming in with that green, aren't you? The green, I will say the green would work more for an everyday color scheme. But that red sure is pretty for patriotic. I don't know. That'll be determined. Let's set these two colors off to the side. Let's start with the blue and the mustard color. And maybe those colors will speak to me a little bit more as they're sitting here on my table. Navy, mustard, and red are beautiful. I think so too, Miss Beth. I do. Goodness, my fan is just not cutting it today. Woo, woo, woo. I need some air. Red, yellow, and blue, Miss Kathy says. Like the blue, yellow, red. Okay, y'all keep going. I don't know. I just can't decide. All right, I am gonna put a little bit of this color in here. And you know what I'm gonna do with this color? I'm gonna add, of course, a little bit of coffee grounds to it to first thin it out a little bit and to give it a little bit more depth of color. We just kind of do our own science experiments around here. Now let's grab a brush, shall we? I brought the whole box of brushes to the table this morning. How about that? And I'm probably not going to find the size that I want. I need to go shopping for some sponge brushes. I feel like I have used up all my sponge brushes and I have not replaced them like I normally do. All right, let's just use this big sponge brush for now. Okay, Thank you, Miss Tracy, for sprinkling us out. You like the navy mustard and the red? That's my favorite too right now. You're supposed to be getting hotter this coming week in Kentucky. Miss Paula, yes ma'am. I was seeing like 88. Is it on Monday? And of course, it's been so humid this week. After we had so much rain and storms earlier in the week, it has just been super muggy. To me, navy, mustard, and red are the primitive colors. Okay, I think you're right, Miss Beth. They're the ones that you see more often. Okay, all I did is add a little bit of that coffee grunge to it, and we're going to paint these wood strips really quickly. And we'll decide if they need 2 coats. Probably by looking to see, it's a little bit lighter than what I would like for it to be. So we'll start with the base coat. Okay, we are going to paint the sides because this is going to be a refrigerator magnet. It's going to be like a refrigerator magnet you've not seen before. Okay, I think you're right, Tina. Always kind of go with your gut instinct, right? Like whatever you think first, don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. That's a good point. You've got a good point. All right. I'm going to get the sides and get that first coat on, and then we will darken it a little bit more. I've got to watch those sleeves. I should have known better than to wear a top that has these ruffled sleeves. That'll get you in trouble every time when you're painting. Okay. Now, paint does dry a little bit darker, or does it dry lighter? What is that rule of thumb, that paint dries darker, or does it dry lighter? I don't know. Let's put a little bit more blue in here because I used pretty much all of that, and I want enough to finish the back side of this too, because if you're creating things to sell, you want to make sure that you have a completely finished project. That's right, Fatima. I'm kind of matching my blues. You know, it's so funny. When I was younger, I was not a big fan of the color blue. But as I've gotten older, I don't know. I like it a little bit more than I used to. Okay, now I did put just a drop of black in there. I did it. Thank you, Miss Dora. But I am going to thin it down with a little bit of coffee grunge again. It doesn't need to be too much thinner. The consistency was perfect earlier. It's just the depth of color. I need a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit of instant coffee. Sometimes finding these like primitive color tones when it comes to paint can be a little bit of a challenge. And so that's kind of why I like to mix together my own. I kind of like to add a little bit of this instant coffee because it will dissolve in the paint. And it's sort of like adding your own flair to that color. And we'll see the difference here in just a minute. I'll show you, or we'll see together. Sometimes you just don't know until you put it on there. Good morning, Miss Linda. Good morning, Michelle. How are you, friend? Not sure, but I think you think it dries darker. Well, I know with coffee grunge, it's the opposite. It dries lighter, so that's kind of what it got me thinking. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Now, let's put this one on and let's see. If you all hear a saw in the background, hubby's out there working on my chicken coop. He's out there working on my chicken run. You get paint everywhere. Roxanne, I have a shirt that I wear now. Oh, you have your designated paint shirt. That's a good idea. All right, let's see. Let's paint this side and let's see what we get. Ooh, that's more like it. That's more like it. Now, this is almost like a little bit of a stain now because I'm still seeing the wood grain shine through, and I like that. I like that a lot. So, I'll show you the difference, and you can decide to play around with the colors. You guys, color is color. You can paint over it. You're not like going to jail if you don't get it right the first time or anything like that. Good morning, Shireen. Hi, Kathy. You love the post of Mr. Rooster. That's little Tom. The kids have named him Tom. And if you all haven't been following my page, or maybe you haven't seen things, because sometimes we don't always get to see everything we want to see here on Facebook, but I made a post earlier this week. My chicks are right at 13 weeks old. Most of them are. And there's been 2 that I thought all along, I think they're roosters, And of course, I wasn't planning on having any roosters. And so I've just kind of been in denial, kind of waiting and see, wait and see mode. And earlier this week, I went out, I opened the coop doors and went around to the other side. And before I even let the chickens out in the run, I heard the confirmation. I heard the confirmation. It was cock-a-doodle-doo, and it was loud and clear, and he did it twice. And I was like, oh no. It was like one of those like facepalm moments. I was like, oh no. Yes, yep. Yeah, he's sure enough a rooster. And I have one other one that I think is 2, but I don't know for sure. He's not confirmed it, so we may have 2. If you live close to Northwest Kentucky and you need a rooster, please reach out to me. I have 2 roosters available that I will I will give you. Okay. So that's a little bit of the darker color. This is the lighter color. You can see the difference, right? I kind of want to mix between the 2, honestly. So what I'm going to do on this first side that we added the color to, I'm just going to take this over it as a second layer. And add that on there. But the kids have nicknamed him Tom, and they've named the other one that we think is a rooster as well. They've named him Jerry. So we have a little Tom and a little Jerry, and we're just waiting for confirmation on Jerry to see, but I'm pretty sure he is. He's just not quite as big or as dominant as little Tom is, but they are beautiful. But I've just heard too many horror stories about roosters. Yes, saw your rooster. I will ask her. Oh, perfect, Miss Paula. Perfect. I know you're somewhere close by. I need to get in touch with you. Yes, that's what I'm hoping, is that someone can use a rooster or 2. David kept saying, no, it's not a rooster. Then one day I went out and he crowed. Oh my goodness. Danielle, where in Kentucky? I am near Owensboro, Kentucky. It's right on the Ohio River, on the Indiana-Ohio River, Kentucky border. So Indiana and Kentucky, where they join, runs through the Ohio River. That makes the border. That's where I'm at. So if you're in Kentucky, you already know that. But when you say Ohio River, it kind of throws everybody for a loop. The Ohio River runs in between Indiana and Kentucky, and we are close to that. So we are about an hour from Evansville. And what else? An hour to Evansville and about an hour and a half to Louisville, and so forth. But you get the gist. Northwest Kentucky. Some are not mean. Well, I've heard that too. Oh, I almost picked up that green. Is that a sign? Is that a sign I needed to pick up the green? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to the green. Now, this gold, I will say, it is pretty bright. So, we're definitely gonna, well, I don't know, I'm going to put quite a bit in there. That way, if I mix up the color and I like it, it'll stay. That's what it looks like. That's not bad. Let's do like we did. Let's add a little bit of coffee grounds to that to kind of thin it down. It is pretty thick. And I want to be able to see the wood grain through that paint. Okay. Now, I'm out of sponge brushes, so we're going to have to use just a regular brush today, for this color rather. All right, let's mix this up and see what we get. I'm here. Did we? Let's see. Hey, I don't know where. I used to have family in Louisville. My mama's family is from Portsmouth, Ohio. Okay, Miss Joy, I did not know that. I don't think it did a whole lot as far as color goes. It did thin it down, which is definitely what I needed. So let's add a little bit of instant coffee, and that'll deepen it a little bit more. What color is my gold? This is Folk Art is the brand, and Yellow Ochre, number 917. Yellow Ochre, 917 is the color number. Okay. That's still really bright, I feel like. Maybe my coffee probably hasn't dissolved all the way in there, so let's let that marry for just a little bit. How close to Paducah? Sharon, I'm probably like 3.5 hours from Paducah, probably. I went to college in Murray, so I know Murray is, from where I'm living at now, is probably like 2.5 hours, I would think. And so I think Paducah is probably more like 3, maybe 3.5 actually. Murray might be 3 for me now. Don't know anything about roosters. Okay, Paula, it's called a barred rock rooster, and supposedly they are really good natured. So now the female that we have, the hen, the barred rock that we have, I got 3 of them, and of course, 2 of them I think are roosters. But she, wouldn't you know, she's our favorite. She's the best. She's the best one out of the bunch, and I have 15 chickens. But we just love her, and I wish I had like a dozen of her. And she's really good natured. Okay, this one looks really good. I like this. I like it. Now it's a little bit brighter on camera than it is in person. But we'll add some grungy to it to even darken it a little bit more. So I'm good with this. I like this a lot. I am not going to paint the backs right now though on this. I don't think. Well, I don't know. We can. We've got time this morning. We do. But I do want to finish it. I do want to have it all painted when it is finished. But these are going to be so cute. And these will be refrigerator. I'm calling them refrigerator decoration, honestly. There will be magnets, but not in the sense of like, I don't think you would use this to like, hang artwork with, like not one of those magnets that you're going to use to attach, something else to your refrigerator with. This will be more like decoration for your refrigerator. Good morning, Jana. You like the gold? Good. Now, Miss Jana, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you've been posting over in the All Things Primitive group, right? I'm pretty sure that's your name that I've been seeing, posting some really pretty things over there in that group. I need to share that link with you all. I'll share the link with you all for that group, or if someone else wants to share the link, that's fine too. I can share it with you on my Telegram channel if later. Okay, I'm trying to hold my arms up so I don't get my sleeves and my paint. Let's see if we can just tuck that sleeve right up in there. Let's reverse the ruffle. Make sure the paint that's on my fingers is not wet before I do that. You like the color? I think so too. And look at that with the blue. I think those two colors really go good together. And time for the deciding vote. I think I'm going green. You guys. Now I do have a little bit of a darker green, and this is Folk Art brand as well. So I mean, maybe I just stick with the folk art vibe here. Although our blue was not folk art, it was deco art, Americana deco art. Let's open it up and take a peek at the colors. Let's compare. This is like a soft sage green. Let me show you the cap on this one. Okay, this one obviously is pretty bright, but of course, you know, we would dull it down. But see, what do you think? What do you think with those? Lighter or darker? There's your state colors. Awesome. The brighter or the darker? Renee and Tamara, you all are voting red. Y'all are going to change me back to the red. Yes, green. Oh, good morning, Miss Peggy. It's so good to see you on moss green and a red. I'm looking. Okay, let's go red. I don't know. You're right. I'm just going to go with my first thought. And my first thought this morning was the red. So let's do it. And guess what? If we don't like it, I've got some more of these. I can do more. Okay, let's put a little bit of this red chalk paint in here. Now, this is the only color red that I have, and it is really bright. So we gotta work on it for sure to deepen it up. I could put a drop of black in there, but I don't know how that acrylic paint, if it will mix well with that chalk paint. You know, sometimes when you add mixed colors of different kinds of paint, you get like a muddiness to it, to the color, and I don't want to do that. So I'm a little scared. And I am putting quite a bit of instant coffee crystals in there, but I'm crumbling them up. Okay. Good morning, Miss Jeanette. Red. Joy's happy about the red. All right, let's put a little bit of coffee grunge in here too, because it needs a little bit of extra liquid now, because that chalk paint's pretty thick. Oh, we got some sludge. Going on with that one. So this might be really good in deep red. Let's see. Oh, it's still pretty bright, but it will take a minute for that instant coffee to kind of do its thing. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more though. And then we'll let it kind of sit for a minute. You know what? I think I'm going to add just a splash of water. That chalk paint it's so thick. And let's see what we get. And if you mix these colors up and you really like them, put them in a little jar or a little, you can get some little plastic containers that have lids on them. I'm going to let that instant coffee sit in there for just a little bit. Let's see. Watching from Sac City, Iowa, the world's largest popcorn ball. I think I've seen that before. Not in person, but I've seen something about that. Loving the sludge coffee grunge. Your red is thick and has a terrible odor. Is that right, Miss Sheila? I didn't notice that odor. Coffee grunge? It is a little strong. You're right. It is really strong. I don't notice it when I'm like using it, but like if I definitely sniff of it, it definitely is strong. Grunge makes everything better. Miss Mara, sending you big hugs. You give Miss Debbie and Miss Jennifer big hugs for me too. I miss you three and love you all three to pieces. Coffee grunge. A cup of hot water, a half a cup of cheap instant coffee crystals, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Just put it in a jar, mix it up. Store it in your refrigerator when you're not using it. Oh yeah, it's getting deeper. Yes. Oh, I like this. Okay. It still might be a touch red. Like I kind of might want a little bit more of a burgundy color. But we're going to roll with it. Who is moving? Up early and packing. And I missed the comment. Miss who's moving, you all tell me who said they were moving. Thank you, Miss Shayna. How are you? Hey, Miss Jennifer. Sending you a big hug, sister. I hope you all are having a great time. I know y'all are busy, but still hope you have fun. All right. Okay, this is definitely going to need more than one coat because it goes on really bright over that natural tone of wood. But like I said, we are going to grunge up the colors once we get everything on here and designed the way we want them. These are going to be tall Saltbox house magnets, decor for your fridge. I've had this idea kind of spinning in my head for quite a while. I saw a few things on Pinterest that kind of led me to the direction of I think I know how I want to, create these, and Pinterest kind of helped me along, kind of pushed me along in my idea development, if you will. But they were not anything like what I'm putting together. It just kind of helped me decide how I want mine to kind of look, if that makes sense. But I'm sure somebody has created these before, and if so, that's even better. Okay, let's get the sides. And the bottom. All right. Now, that will need 2 coats. I do know that. Let's give this a quick dry. I'm not going to get that on my shirt. My shirt is going to steer clear. My shirt is going to stay clear. You love the colors, Deb? Good. Good morning. Good morning, Rebecca from Florida. How are you? I bet it's warm in Florida already, right? I have found that if your red is too bright, I paint it with red and they do coffee grunge. Yes, Miss Jeanette, exactly. That coffee grunge will sort of acts as like a stain and a glaze kind of, and all the same. But yes, you're right. And I'm seeing little speckles of that cinnamon show through on my paint, and I like that. I like that a lot. Good morning, Miss Gail. It's beyond warm in Florida. Oh, Miss Jen. Beyond warm. But you have the beach to kind of cancel that out, right? That makes the heat okay. You add a tiny bit of green to your red to make it darker. Okay, Becca. I haven't thought of that. Thank you for that tip. I'll try that sometime. My dryer is like, I think it's on its last leg. I don't know what it's doing. It's only 66 in Ohio. Oh, that's nice. That's a perfect morning temperature, right? If it would stay around 72-ish all year long, I'd be content and happy. I love that temperature. I can get outside. I can do things without feeling like I'm like sweating my skin off or anything. Getting humid, yes, I bet. It's humid here too in Kentucky. Storms passing through. Oh my goodness. 83 in northern lower Michigan. Oh, but now, Deborah, that's a little warm for you all, right? I feel like Michigan, you all kind of have temperamental weather too, don't you? I feel like I hear that a lot. Rainy and cool in the mountains of Pennsylvania. Oh. Now, Miss Roxanne, tell me something. What's the weather going to be like in October in Pennsylvania? Because, that's kind of when we're thinking that we might have our next meet and greet. Will be possibly in October near the Pittsburgh area. That's the preliminary thinking right now. But tell me what it's going to be like in October, you think? Because I'm curious. And I bet the leaves and everything will already be changed and gone by then, won't they? Okay. I am going to go ahead on this front side of this yellow and give it another coat because I just feel like it didn't cover real well as far as like, I do want to see the wood grain, but I still feel like there were areas that felt a little too bare if you know what I mean. I want it to have the character, but it just didn't quite have it there. So, and I'm going to be looking. Roxanne, did she say? Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm shaking it. It's beautiful in rural Pennsylvania in October. Okay, Miss Patsy, awesome. Roosters rejected so far. Oh, thank you, Miss Paula. She's trying to find a home for my roosters. Okay. I'm hoping. I've never made it up to like the Northeast, let alone in the fall, and that has kind of been on my bucket list of things that I would like to see. And so I was hoping maybe, you know, in mid-October, I was hoping that the leaves would still be pretty in Pennsylvania, and I don't know. I know you all get quite a bit cooler earlier than we do, so I was curious if there would still be fall foliage to be seen. That's what I'm curious about. Good morning, Miss Lois from Vermont. You all, we're just crafting, we're chatting, we're taking our time this morning, and I love this time with you guys. Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Lisa. I just gave it a second coat to the yellow and the red because I do want to make sure that they look like a good coat, you know. We're not allowed to have roosters in Long Island in our yards. Oh, really, Marie? I guess because they're so loud and noisy. October in Pennsylvania is unpredictable. I lived here all your life. Hold on. And it's done every type of weather from the 70s to snow. Oh my goodness. And it won't let me see the rest of your comment. Oh, maybe. And it's done everything from snow to sleet on Halloween. Oh my goodness. But do you still have leaves? Do you still have foliage, like fall color on your trees then? Awesome, Deborah. You only live about 2 hours from Pittsburgh. You should add, oh, I know. I've seen some beautiful, beautiful pictures of Maine. And I'm a big lighthouse person. When I go to somewhere that's along the coast, I always like to see every lighthouse that I can get to within reason. And I know Maine has some beautiful lighthouses. I'm going to set that back there. I'm afraid I'm going to get paint on Mr. George. Okay. And that second coat made all the difference. It toned down the brightness even. Maine is an awesome place to visit. Good morning, Miss Ann. Okay, so now the second part of this, these little Saltbox houses, these are each, they're going to be their own little house, okay? Now, you're going to have to either have like a marker or be really good with paint, I think. But here's what I'm thinking for the roof. Now you could cut some wood if you have access to like a little handsaw or something like that. I have not. I had my saws last weekend. My little handsaw, like a little, it's not a chisel really, but it's a handsaw of some sort, and I would be able to cut through these little pieces of wood that I have. And lo and behold, we were cleaning up last weekend. I know they've been stuffed somewhere and I can't find my little saws. So here's the next best thing. I know many of you probably don't have access to a saw either. So let's create these in a simple way that works for everybody. Hey, Miss Robin. Beautiful fall colors in Western North Carolina, but Eastern we have color briefly. I thought about that, Miss JoJo, about popsicle sticks. I did think about that. And I still might. I kind of have a couple little ideas that I'm kind of toying with here. And so we'll see what looks best. Let me cut this. I'm cutting this piece down. I need a straight edge on this. Y'all bear with me. We're like gonna rig this up some way or another. I just got to find the way that I think looks the best. why that's not cutting through that. There we go, maybe. Goodness gracious, come on. Okay. All right, this is what I have right now. A little piece of cardboard. Now, you will know, if you're familiar with like primitive style Saltbox houses, they're really tall, they're really skinny, and they have a really steeply sloped roof top, right? Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. And I've got to look at this and see. That's too wide, so let's narrow it down. I'm going to use this straight edge again because I want it to be as straight as possible. And that kind of helps control my blade as well. Okay. This is coming together a little bit better. That's going to look cute, I think. I think that'll look perfect. Now, if you want to, you could kind of slope the edges of your roof if you kind of wanted to make it look, I don't know, let's pitch the edges a little bit and we'll see what you like better. My fingers out of the way. That wood piece kind of helps control the direction of that as well, so that helps. So that blade doesn't slip up and get me. All right, so I took that little piece that I cut off and I'm laying it on the other side, sort of as like a little guide, like a little template to make sure that I kind of have a matching. I gotta turn it this way. Where'd my little piece go? That little piece that I cut off the other side, I'm laying it over here so that I have sides that match, because if I don't have it matching, you guys, it will drive me bonkers, I think. Okay. All right, now. Didn't cut through. That cardboard is pretty thick. Now, you can definitely use popsicle sticks, or you can even cut your wood pieces to work for you. Let's see what this looks like here. All right, you like that better or the straight edges? Well, let me know. I kind of am leaning more towards the straight edges, but I want to see what you guys think. Ah, thank you. Somebody put exclamation mark notify. Thank you for reminding me. If you or maybe a new follower, or maybe you're a regular follower and you're not getting notifications, if you put in the comments exclamation mark notify, sometimes that will help Facebook to know, hey, she wants to see notifications from My Sweet Home Living more often, so send them to her. So hopefully that will work for you. You all let me know. Okay. Let's cut this down. And nothing like working with cardboard. I mean, everybody has cardboard. And I kind of like the way this cardboard looks anyway, because it kind of gives you the effect, it kind of gives you a little bit extra dimension as far as the thickness goes, which helps it look even more charming, I think. Okay. I'm seeing what you said. You get so nervous when you see me using the rotary cutter. I understand. But I'm trying to be careful here. All right. So here's the straight one. I think the straight one looks a little bit more, I don't know. I think that looks more like a Saltbox house to me. Now, it's pretty tall. And we're going to dress this up. So it does look a little awkwardly tall right now. And Saltbox houses do look awkwardly tall, even in real life. And then here's the slanted one. I like the straight one. My comments stopped, you guys. Hang on. straight, 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 slant, angled, slant, straight, straight. I think I'm going for straight. I think so too. Let's go with straight, and we could make some with the slanted too. Before I cut that one, I'm going to go ahead and cut out another one that matches size-wise. I'm just taking one of these shipping boxes. And that's what I'm cutting this out of. You could use a cereal box. I mean, whatever you got. Amazon boxes. Amazon boxes. Who doesn't have Amazon boxes? Okay, I'm just going to use that as a little cutting guide. And cut out a couple more. That way they'll all match. They'll all match. Okay. And then let's trim off this rough edge on this one. Uh-oh. Well, it's not cutting real straight, so clean it up a little bit. Okay, I've already got that one cleaned up. Okay, we have 3 that are straight. What I'm going to do, I am going to paint those black really quick, and then while they are drying, we are going to work on the decoration for these houses, which I think is going to be really cute. Goodness, I wish I had brought a paper plate in here. I'm just going to go right on my mat here. Right on my mat, my work surface here. And let's use this medium. All right. Quick paint on here, and we'll let these dry. And then we're going to use the same paintbrush to mark off the windows and the door. Okay. And then we are going to add a little bit of wording to these as well. And they're just going to look the cutest you ever did see. This is a good project if you have some ladies in a church group. You all can create your own style of little Saltbox houses, and they would look absolutely darling, and no 2 would be alike. I think those are the most fun group projects, when you know that no 2 are going to be alike. Everybody can see what everyone else's looks like. I just think it's so fun. Those types of craft parties are the best. And this project would definitely lend itself really well to that. And not only that, it's super budget friendly because there's not a lot of components involved. Everybody could bring their own paint colors. I mean, you could pick those up at Walmart for less than $1 a bottle. You know, the little small craft acrylic paint bottles. And grab a bottle of paint, grab a pack of these wood sticks, a paintbrush, a marker, some glue. You could probably do these easily. You could probably create a set of 2 of these for probably $5, or I would say around $5. Easy. Especially if you already have paintbrushes on hand. Maybe you already have paint on hand. Maybe even less than $5. You will need some magnets, okay? And I will suggest, now the magnets might be a little pricier, depending on what kind you get. But you will want a good sturdy, thin magnet. And those can be hard to find in store. So when I worked in the classroom, when I was teaching, I used magnets a lot to hang things and for organizing and different things. And I found some magnets on Amazon. And they are tiny, but they are heavy duty and they are super thin. You would never know that they are so strong compared to the size of them. And I'll show you what they look like here in just a minute. But they are perfect for this style project. You don't want a super thick magnet because it will make this stick out too far from your, the surface of your fridge if you're using this as a magnet, okay? So you'll want some magnets that have a low profile, if you know what I mean. Low profile meaning they're thin. All right, I don't have any paper towels at the table today, so here's my paper towel. So let me show you these magnets real quick. I ordered these I believe I ordered them on Amazon. These are called, you might want to write this down. I don't even know how to say it. Neodymium magnets. They are a 1/16 inch thickness. 1/16, that gives you an idea of how thin they are. And they're 1/4 inch in diameter. So they are incredibly strong. But they're tiny but mighty. How about that? Yes. Oh my goodness. I love all the littles you can add to. Yes, Deborah. Awesome idea. You can add some little details. Little flowers, little dogs. Yes. Stars, rusty stars. Yes. You have a magnet roll. Okay. This is what they look like. Now, these are all put together in a roll. But you can pull them apart and then you would just use them, and they're tiny. So you can see that's a bunch of them in a row. And that's what they look like diameter wise. They're small. They're small. And in comparison to like the eraser on my pencil right here, they're just a tiny bit smaller than the eraser on my pencil there. So that gives you a good indication of how small they are. But you will have to use a glue like E6000 or something that's super sturdy because they have such power. I think hot glue, if you're taking this on and off your refrigerator, I don't think the hot glue would hold it over time. And you would probably only need one at the top and maybe one at the bottom, or like sort of like two centered, you know what I mean? And that would be fine. That would be fine for what I was thinking that I would use them for. And this is just to put on your refrigerator for decoration. Okay, now here we go. I'm going to pencil in my plan here. I know I want, all the Saltbox houses have a door at the bottom. So I am going to draw a door, and I'm going to pencil this so that if I don't like the way it looks, I can come in and change it around a little bit. I know that I want 3 separate areas. Let's put this little roof on the top here. You all can see what I'm doing. I'm putting this little roof at the top to kind of see how much space I have for my windows. I kind of wanted 2 rows of windows, I think, with wording at the top. I'm going to put something like bless this house, or live, love, faith, faith, love, and hope, or something like that. Let's do faith, hope, and love. So if I did faith, hope, and love, yes, that would have 2 rows of windows. So let me write my words. I'm just going to pencil in my words here. And you guys, for primitive, the simple handwriting is the best. Okay, I'm just evening these out. I'm going to put hope. I'm covering up my door, okay? I know I want hope in the center. And you can get a little fun with the writing. Make some of the sticks of your letters. That's what I always used to tell my kindergartners. The stick of your letters, you can make them a little bit longer or taller, to kind of add a little bit of character. And then I'm going to put faith at the top. Any kind of little extra character or quirkiness that you can add to it just gives it more of your style. Okay, so here's what I have right now, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the pencil. I've got it backwards. I've got faith, hope, and love, and then I have my door. Now my windows, I'm just going to use my paintbrush, and I'm going to load my brush, and I'm going to make 2, you guys can see this, right? There we go, over here. The comments, if you're watching on Facebook, the comments might get in your way. I'm just going to make 2 rectangular windows. I'm just going to drag my brush down, just like so, okay? Load my brush up again, and I'm going to do another one on the same side that matches. Press and drag. And you can go over that from the bottom and go back up so that you have an even coat of color for that window. If you want to make them a little wider, you can, but everything for a Saltbox house is narrow. It's tall and skinny, and that's just the way they are. So I'm going to do the same thing for this row of windows. Now, if those windows dry and it looks like you need a little bit more color, then you can go back over them with another coat. But Saltbox houses, that's a tongue twister, they are supposed to have character and look handmade. You know what I mean? Have that imperfect character to them. And your shapes are all rectangular, straight edges, so even the most novice painter can do this. So, my roof is not glued on. That's what I have so far. Now, if you decide your windows need to be a little bigger, a little wider, you can do that. Or if your roof needs to go up a little higher, you've got room that you can adjust your roof now, okay? So I just need to come in. You can use a paint marker, a paint pen to write out your wording if you want. I have, and I hope this is not dried up. I've had this for ages. Let me test this. Oh, this is perfect. This is something, they do have these at Hobby Lobby. This is called a Pigma brush, okay? It's archival ink. And it sort of reminds you of it's a soft tip, but it's flexible. So think of like a calligraphy pen almost, if you will. That's what it reminds me of. All right, now, for my next one, while this is drying, you know what I can do? I can go ahead and do the same thing on this one. And I'm just going to set them side by side, and I can just match my, line them up, and that'll kind of give me a good guide for where to put my windows on this one. Now you can go in and add some shading around your windows, kind of give them a little extra dimension, and I probably will do that later. You can outline them with a little bit of a lighter color. You could add some crisscrosses to the windows. You could add a rounded door at the bottom if you want, a round top. But I thought I'll go ahead and grab this black paint before it dries all the way. Hopefully. I've got my heat on it right now. I don't need to do that, right? But see, once you kind of get your process going, you kind of just line them up like an assembly line and just do all your painting at once. Do all your wording at once. Then do all your gluing at once. And then you've got a good little assembly line going. And you can add any sentiment, any wording that you want to these to personalize them. You could even add a family name. You know, you could put the Campbell family or Campbell family and then established. You know, that would look so cute. Especially for maybe like a housewarming gift. That would be darling. Okay, now my windows are getting a little bit longer with each house. Ay, ay, ay. I might have to go back to my first house and make those windows a little bit longer. They don't have to look exactly like. I'm not going to hang all 3 of these on my refrigerator, probably. I'll probably give these as gifts or hang them in different parts of the house. You know, maybe not so much together. Okay. That black doesn't really want to cover over that red very well. So I might have to go back over it with a second coat of black. But, okay, I think those are going to look really cute. So let's go ahead and let's add the wording on here. This paint is a little bit wet. I'm just going to go in and start at the bottom. And I love this pen because it's easy to control. I have used paint pens before, and I just can't stand them because I can't control the flow of paint. And so that's why I don't ever use those paint pens or those paint markers that you have to press to get the paint to come out. Oh no, they are no friend of mine. They just don't like me. And I'm going through and I'm making the lines pretty thick. That's just my style of writing. Everyone's going to have their own style of handwriting. And once I get this on here, if I don't like it, it's just paint. I can paint right over it. Right? That's the great thing about it. That is the great thing about it. Okay. This is coming together so cute. And it's so easy. And you can do it as quick or, you know, drag it out as long as you want, honestly. Add more details. But think simple, because Saltbox houses, they are simple in style. Okay. Now, I could probably use my paint marker to kind of clean up the edges of these. It's not a paint marker. It's almost like a archival ink brush. I can go in and clean up the edges of those windows. Make them a little more crisp around the corners. I still do want to see that they are hand painted though, and I think anyone who kind of likes this style would agree that they would like the same. Yeah. Add a little bit more at the bottom and make it look like little brush marks. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it here in just a minute. Make it look like a little window sill. And I'm going to add a little bit of extra header at the top of my door. Add a couple little stripes because this black doesn't quite match the black of my paint. So to make it look like it blends and coordinates, I'm going to add a little bit of extra. Okay, this is too cute. Let's put some hot glue on this real quick. Whoop. I should have painted the back of that one here. I did paint the back of this one. I touched my finger with that. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That glue dripped right on that. I'm going to have to let that dry and then peel it off. And hopefully it doesn't peel off my paint. Gosh, dog it. I know if I mess with it right now while it's wet, it'll smear it. That's what we have so far. Is that not cute? Now you could add a little rusty star at the top. But I'm going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a black ink pad. And I'm going to go around. I start to say, do I want black or dark brown? I think I'm going to go with the black. I've got to let that little hot glue dry right there before I peel it off. I may have to doctor it up a little bit. I'm going to take that ink pad. This one might be dry. Oh, no, it's not. And I'm just going to kind of go through and rub the edges. You could probably even do this a little bit with the pen if you don't have an ink pad. You could do it with a dry brush of black paint, probably, if you're really careful. You got several options. And I am going to kind of feather it. I'm taking it from the edge and I'm brushing it into the side. And it's going to carry a little bit of that black over onto my house. I like that, a little bit of that streaky look around the edges. I wish that glue hadn't have fallen right there. It's taken a while to cool because it's such a big glob. Rats-a-roni. Well, learn from my mistake there. Let your hot glue dry, or definitely don't hold it over. I'm going to let that dry really good, though, before I mess with it. I think I'll have better chances of getting it off if I let it dry. But, so, let me flip my camera around for Pete's sake. Let's see. There we go. Make them little mini, and so they could be ornaments. You're exactly right, Miss Deborah. We are thinking on the same wavelength. Same with my little presidential thing yesterday. So you would glue those heavy-duty magnets, those thin heavy-duty magnets on the back, and that would give you some really cute fridge decor, right? And do you see how cheap these, I mean, you could make these so easily with not a lot of money involved in these. And you've got some cute and good size little crafts that you could make and sell really easily. You could sell them in a set. You could sell them as is and then offer personalization for a few extra dollars. So for like on this one, now the blue is a lot darker, so your wording is not, your lettering rather is not probably going to show up quite as well on this one. Or your edging, you might choose to sand the edges a little bit and then kind of go in with a dark glaze. You've got lots of options on what you can do to make these super cute and personalize them. Okay, let's see if we can glue this one on without getting hot glue on it. I can't believe that dripped off like that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of match this up. There we go. Okay, that's what we have so far on that one. And, oh goodness, I am roasting. I am going to put, let's see here. I didn't get the size of that cardboard too well. I'll have to touch that one up. What could we put on this one? Welcome. Welcome was a big word. Bless this home. Let's do that one. Let's do that. And I'm just going to freehand it. Bless, or bless our home. You could put that. I probably would have rather put that, but I'd already started my letters. Bless this home, and I'm going to make home in big letters down here. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to thicken up my lettering so that it stands out. And if this dries, what you can do is go in and give it a little bit of highlighting with a little bit lighter of a paint. I know these ink brushes come in other colors. You might get another color and test it out. That would be really easy to come in and add a little bit of highlighting around the edging of your windows, around the edging of your words. And that way your letters would show up a little bit more on this darker blue. Or you just go with the lighter, the lighter background colors to begin with. So those are things to keep in mind whenever you are creating yours. And there's the blue one. I think it definitely needs a little bit of highlighting on this one though. So I will probably get like a light or a lighter gray color and come in and add some highlights. A little rusty star on the top of this would look adorable. I do have a rusty star right here. Let me see if I can. This is not the rusty stars that I usually use, but I think it'll work. Or I have some here. Maybe if it'll come off. I have to cut it. A little rusty star would look so cute on the top of these. Let's add some glue. You could add a little homespun bow at the top if you wanted to, or around the center. I mean, the sky's the limit on how you could embellish these. Added that little rusty star on that one. That's so cute. And then you could add a little chimney. I didn't even think about that. What if we had, I got glue strings. What if we had a little chimney on that one? That would be cute. That would be really cute. Let's do that one. And then we'll finish up. I'll finish the red one off of camera and show you what that one looks like. And when I take a photo later. Okay. Dry this really quick. Add this one on. And I think I need to trim this up a little bit. It's a little long. I don't need a chimney that tall. But you can see how you can just keep going and keep going and keep going with this to make them just personalizable and really make them your own. Okay. Now I got some glue to clean off on this one. Still a little warm. That not the cutest? Those would look so cute on a fridge for your decor. Oh my gracious. A little flag attached to this red one would be darling. Absolutely darling. So get a pack of the wood pieces from Hobby Lobby. Okay. I'm thinking now I probably should have done my wording in a lighter color on this one anyway. I love the yellow. I absolutely love the yellow. And of course, when I finish out the red, I think that'll look so cute. I'm so happy with them. I hope you all enjoyed today's project. I will finish these up and take some photos. But what a super fun project. I think easy for anybody to do. Like I said, super easy to resell these as well because you don't have a lot of money invested in them. And lots of, upsell options, keep them simple or personalize them or sell them in a set, sell them individually or whatnot. But these would be so cute. Add them to your fridge. We got to decorate your fridge. We got to decorate every inch of our homes, right? All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And I am thinking I will probably be back live, I think on possibly Wednesday at noon. I always do a midweek check-in, but maybe we can do a midweek check-in and craft in one. We'll see. All right. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to go clean up. Thank you all. Bye.